I'm Holden Douglas here at Crypto.com Arena, where the Kings defeated the Senators 5-2. After a tied 2-2 game, the Kings completely dominated the final period, scoring 3 goals. Now the Kings are on a 3-game winning streak. Let's hear from what the players and the coach had to say.
Game to the first time you guys played the Senators, what was the biggest thing you wanted to change right out the gate?
I thought we wanted to be the more patient team. They're really good in transition. They're really, explosive offensive team if you let them be. So we wanted to make sure we were, playing our game and make sure they were coming the whole way down the ice, and we did that for the most part.
Kobe and Juice tell you had to do more of the work today since you had the day off yesterday?
No, they didn't. But I feel like whenever you play with those guys, it's put your work boots on. It's an honor to play with them. So I just want to do my part.
How good was that start to the third period? I mean, it's a 2-2 game. You saw how it went earlier in the week in San Jose. To come out get that goal, how big was that for you guys?
Yeah, huge. That third period in San Jose was obviously not up to our standard, and I think we've done a good job of rebounding from that.
First 3-game winning streak of the season. How important is it to start to string some together here?
Yeah, great. I didn't know that was our first 3-game winning streak of the season, honestly, but that's awesome. Just got to keep it rolling, just keep building in the right direction. I feel like we're getting better. I think that we're playing really good defensive hockey right now, and goals are starting to come. I think we have some confident guys, so I think it's a good thing.
You guys go down to 11 forwards early. I mean, the lines have moved around a lot this year. Does that give everyone kind of familiarity when you're in that situation, playing with different guys, different times?
Yeah, I think we've mixed around a good amount this year, as is. Obviously, losing Louis for the game really stunk. He's a really important part of our team, so that sucked. But, I thought we did a good job of mixing in, and a lot of guys stepped up.
Beyond just winning 3 straight, there's a couple emphatic ones in here with this and the Winnipeg game. Do you feel like you guys are starting to gel and gain some confidence, maybe some direction in this season, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I think defensively, we've been pretty stingy for a while now, and I think that's the Kings' identity they've had here for a long time, and I don't think you want to blow that up and start just playing run and gun hockey. So I think that we've done that well, and the goals are coming, so that's great.
Trevor, you mentioned the lines changed quite a bit here, but you've spent a lot of time with Kevin and Phil. Is there any kind of challenge where you are bouncing around sometimes because you've gotten so used to playing with those two, or is it just kind of business as usual moving around?
That's a good question. I think anytime there's a change, there's a little bit of a learning curve, and there's also, I think, a little bit of excitement. I think, those guys getting to play with Laugh has been unbelievable this year. I'm sure they're excited to play with him, and then, obviously me getting to play with Kobe and Juice is super exciting. So, you get those little sparks throughout the season where you can, and, so it's pros and cons to it.
You mentioned Kobe and Kempe, they're easy guys to play with. What makes them such an easy line to play with and just a kind of compliment?
I mean, they play the game fast, but with their brains, if that makes sense. They just put pucks in good spots. They don't have to always. I mean, Juice is fast, so Kobe just knows where to be and knows where to put the puck, and he's making the other team chase the puck rather than him chase it. So, it's cool to play with those guys and kind of learn from them.
How'd you see that play develop on Kobe's goals? And with that stretch pass to you, kind of put a little pressure on him there.
Yeah, I was hoping to just kind of catch and carry into the zone, and Kobe had a really good middle drive, push that D back so I can get the middle. I was looking over to Juice, but I just felt like, maybe just throw it toward the net and see if something happens there, and, Kobe does Kobe things. Cool. Thanks, guys.
I think it was a nice play overall. We were moving the pucks, we were moving around, so we're looking forward to take this to the next game.
3 straight wins now for you guys. How encouraging is it to come off that Winnipeg game and then follow it up with 2 more wins?
Yeah, big time, I mean, also last night in Anaheim, the third period was big. Today was third period was big. And it's nice to get those wins, in this time of year. We kind of get to know who we are, if that makes sense. And very proud of the team to stick with it, all 3 games, 60 minutes.
You guys have tied for the most goals in the third period in the NHL this season. Is that a point of pride for this team to maybe play your best hockey in the third?
Yeah, I mean, of course, third period of hockey is probably one of the most important, because that's the finish line, no matter if you're down or up. You got to rely on all the guys, and like I said, very proud of the team.
How'd you see things build up on your goal? It seemed like things were kind of stagnant, and then Clarkey puts it on net. How'd you read it from there, I guess?
Well, I was kind of reading his shot, just kind of hoping for a bounce, I saw. Yeah, I was kind of cheating over there, and got the bounce. Made a nice play and scored. So, was happy.
Go back to the power play for a second. It seems like you've taken on a role as one of the main creators on that unit, and as someone who has your puck on the stick in those situations a lot, much easier is your life to have someone like Kempe who shoots the puck like that? Are you always kind of looking to him? Is there a risk of looking for him too much? I mean, how do you kind of play off that?
I think just play with your instincts, you know. We have so many weapons out there. I think just use them all. You know, you gotta use them. You know, I think if you just look at one option or whatever, it's maybe easy for the other ones. You know, that's why I said we were moving around today. Everybody was everywhere. You know, especially that last one, and that's why I think our team got confused. So I think it was a good step forward, and we're going to take this positive with us, and hopefully keep it going.
You played a lot with Phil Deneau over the last couple of years. I mean, how important are just the little things that he seems to do each game for this team?
Yeah, he does so many good things. You know, little things like you said, details you don't always see. You know what I mean? Always defensive, always there for a good stick. You know, good back check. He's blocking shots. He does everything. You know. And now also on the offensive side, he's getting rewarded. So that's very fun to see. Awesome, guys.
Thank you.
Have we won 4 straight yet this year? Okay. Can you update me? Going to be the first question?
I'll ask if the 1-2-2 was boring since you're
Yeah. Are we started here? Okay, we're on the preamble.
Jim, you guys, since you like the stats, now tied for the NHL lead in goals in the third period. The way that you guys came out tonight, how important was that in securing this one?
Well, I thought, yesterday we were square going into the third. Wasn't a Picasso, but we got the job done, and we had to battle, and the goalie had to be really good. So today we had to get the same thing done. It was a different script. I thought we played really well in the third. Still needed the goalie, but our guys had some nice plays, nice goals. It makes it a little easier when you can score some nice goals.
We joke about the system there, and there's a lot of talk about changing from the 1-3-1, all of that. It was too defensive, whatever it is, and you guys remain one of the best defensive teams in hockey, not the best team. How important is that identity then for you guys to be so strong defensively?
Yeah, that was the biggest consideration in changing the system, and I think as we talked about it, we felt like the players here, because they've won, they know they're responsible players, understand that defense wins, checking wins. So there was enough of a foundation that we could probably change the system and still have that proper mindset, and those guys have done that. So that's probably, as a coaching staff, what we're probably most pleased with is the guys haven't wavered from that mindset, despite playing a different system.
Talk about the nice goals. Is that an example of what Kevin can do when he's on? Obviously his goal, but also the poise on the power play goal.
It's great to see, wasn't it? Power play hasn't gone that well yet this year. We've had a lot of chances we haven't scored on, but nice to see that. And we've seen, a lot of that since Kevin showed up, Kevin to juice or Kevin pulling inside himself. So, yeah, nice to see. I thought Kevin was, good last night, and I thought tonight he built on that. I thought he was the most dangerous player on the ice.
It's 6 out of 7 games, 2 goals or less. It's just a matter of it takes 20 to 25 games for your team to settle in to that new system and the new line rotation.
We've given up 2 goals or less, is that what you're saying?
6 out of 7. The only game
was the San Jose game. Always at the start of the season, the league is just more loose until all teams get a little bit tighter. And the other thing on that is the referees seem to call a lot more power plays and early in the season. So that could skew that. I don't know what it's been like 5-on-5. We had, the night in Ottawa wasn't good. We had a couple of nights that weren't good. So I don't know if it's as much as the system. So well, we played pretty well through the exhibition season, pretty tight. So we felt like coming out of the exhibition, we kind of had our system in place. But I definitely think we're playing better now than at the start of the year. There's no question.
Sorry, Trevor Lewis going down, game 999. You don't like to see that. Is there any update you can share with us, or anything that you saw happen that you could tell us about?
Yeah, I don't want to update. He looks like he's going to be out for a while. We don't know exactly yet, so I'm not going to speculate. But yeah, I can tell you he won't be playing the next game. That's as much as I know. That's for sure.
When Louis goes down, obviously brings you 2 11 forwards. Does it maybe help that the guys have moved around so much this year and there's so much familiarity that you can throw 3 guys out there and they probably played together at some point?
I think so. I mean, I played a lot of 11 forwards last year. I'm really comfortable with that. It's almost a preference at times, to be honest with you. And sometimes players like Sammy was playing really well tonight. He had a real good game, dangerous, almost scored his first goal. So maybe not fair that he doesn't play that much at the end. I went from 11 to 10, and just this group of guys we're really comfortable with. So somebody has to pay a price sometimes, but that's not a problem. I think everybody played with everybody. If you're a good player, you can play with somebody else. I don't think the chemistry doesn't seem to be a huge issue. And to make that point, you saw like Phil, Laugh, and Kevin, who haven't spent a lot of time together. And last night and tonight, I thought they were a most dangerous line. You take the 2 nights in total, hadn't played together. But good players playing hard, they'll complement each other.
Do you like the 11 forward alignment to disrupt matchups, or why is it your preference?
A little bit more when we play with 11 forwards, and yeah, I know they want to be out there, so that's really what it comes down to. Is just get a little bit more ice time.
On power play tonight, back with Clarkie on the goal line?
Yeah, and I thought they were dangerous the first time round, but it was we needed that goal at that time, so. And I think as much as Clarkie back on the goal line, it puts Kevin and Juice back in their spots a little bit too. Didn't mind the 5 forwards and had a little bit of success over the last 3 or 4 games, but that felt better tonight against that penalty kill too. Sometimes it's penalty kill dependent.
Talking about the 3-game streak, I mean, that resounding win and then 2 really strong third periods. Do you feel like even beyond just the 3 straight, is this team starting to find its confidence at this stage in the campaign?
I would say that's fair. I would say, the San Jose game did not feel good at all, that third period. And so you wonder how you're going to react. And then you play hard, and you hope you play hard and win. And you do that, and you go win the next one, then you play hard and win. Then you start to say, okay, yeah, the confidence does build. Why wouldn't it? Because when you play hard, you get results, and you realize that, hey, you know what? We're a good team, and we're hard to beat. We don't give much up. And when you don't give much up, when you play hard, you got a chance every night.
Wasn't out for all that long, but good to have Morsey's legs back.
Yeah, really, really important. I mean, great goal, great move on Kopi's goal. That's a big goal, probably the biggest goal of the night. So, yeah, nice to have him back out there for sure. And I like that line. I like, kind of we got some different lines going on that played pretty well together.
Going back to the Lewis injury, obviously not something you want to see, but is this a situation where you look at that as, that's the negative, but the positive is someone now has an opportunity to maybe come in and establish themselves in this lineup and kind of take that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is Louis just does so much for our team, and he's a really hard guy to replace. So you talk about the minutes, yes, but just I call him the wild thing. He comes out of relief a lot of times and ends up playing most minutes when we're trying to hold a lead late. So he's just really, really dependable. The stuff he does in the room, practice every day. So it's a big loss if he's not around and playing every night, beyond just somebody replacing his minutes. Okay? Okay.
Now that we've heard from the coach and the players, the Kings will look to continue their winning streak against Dallas on Wednesday. Let's see if the Kings can ride their momentum against one of the most talented teams in the NHL. I'm Holden Douglas with Infanity TV, reporting from Crypto.com Arena.